In the last video, we had seen how we can approach a question. So we had learned how to draw a diagram and how can we can visualize certain problems that are difficult. So in this video, we will continue from there. So the next step in solving a problem is actually starting to solve the problem. So we know how we have to approach the question. So firstly, we have to let the variable. So what is a variable? Variable is something that can have any value, or something that has that whose value we are not sure of. We don't know whose value. So here the area of the sector is something, is a quantity which we do not know. So we can let that as some variable. It may vary, variable. So how do you write that? Let the area of the sector be A for area. You may just name any letter. Okay. Now comma. So let the area of the sector be A. As so, mathematics is a language after all. So you need to write it while you as you speak. Okay, so just imagine that you're speaking English, but write that as maths. So I can show you how you do that. So I'm speaking here. Let the area of the sector be A. Now we can observe. So we can write such sentences, but only just to give reasons, not the complete sentence. So we can. So while you're giving the explanation, you may write sentences, because such things cannot be written mathematically. We can observe that the area of the sector equals the area of the cone that can be formed using it. Okay, that's the reason. Comma. So from this we can infer what? What can we infer? So we can observe this comma. Therefore, A, which is the area of the sector, we just defined that. A equals area, or maybe CSA, okay, curved surface area. We just saw that the area of the sector is the curved surface area. This has no base. So A equals curved surface area of, just write a cone, okay, the cone. Now that's the complete sentence. Next sentence we can write as CSA of a cone equals. So that is the reason. As curved surface area of a cone equals, it equals what? It equals pi RL, comma. Therefore, A equals pi RL. Okay, obviously I can write the reason here, which I'll just write. Where R and L are radius and slant height of the cone. So you need to specify, or else somebody might think this radius is the radius of the sector. But remember that radius is different. See, that circle is bigger than the base circle. So the two radiuses are different. Radii are different. So now what you can do is, okay. So now what we can put. So how do we? So yeah, how do we approach this? So that is one equation. But the problem here is A is a variable. Pi is some value that we know, 22.7. What is R? That is something that we don't know right now. L, what is L? Something that we don't know. So yeah, we need to do something so that we can find the value of these two, and that way we can have one equation with only one variable, and that we can solve. So this is how you can form an equation and let variables. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you one last part, which is how we can find R. So if you see, we had thought that we'll use this circumference to find R. So you can say as, so this is the next sentence, as circumference, you read the complete thing, circumference of base, I won't write that, as circumference equals 2 pi R, right? That's the formula of circumference, comma. Therefore, so this is the reason. Therefore, what do I infer? Circumference. So what is circumference here? Therefore, arc length. So you remember this circumference and that arc length were equal because they were just the same thing. So I have just joined these two ends. Remember? So therefore, arc length equals 2 pi r. Obviously, you can write the reason for this here in brackets. Okay. So what you can write here in brackets, from the diagram. Okay, that's the reason you just solve this from the diagram, right? Arc length equals circumference. So that is what, that is how you inferred this step. So just write that here. Okay, I'll skip that part. And that way, so what is the arc length? Arc length was 28. And just write another therefore, or you may write which implies. So which implies simply means which means. So arc length equals this, which means, or which implies 28 equals 2 pi r. So generally it's expected that you would keep your variable on the left hand side, so that r equals this, not this equals r. It sounds weird, right? So you keep the r this side, and so what I can do is I need to flip this equation this way. So I'll just do that quickly. 2 pi r equals 28. Yeah, and I'll stop at this moment. So I've got my two equations, first equation and second equation, and in the next video we'll see how we can solve the question finally.